Why real estate investors are dumping homes and what that could mean for Boise. Okay, have you noticed it too? Suddenly there are more homes popping up on the market, but it's not your average homeowner doing the listing. Nope, this time it's the investors. And not just few of them. According to a brand new Realtor.com report, investors are selling homes at a record pace to cut their losses. So what's going on here? Is this a red flag for the market or a golden opportunity for buyers, especially here in Boise? Grab a coffee and let's dig into this together. If you're a first-time buyer, an investor yourself, or just trying to make sense of this roller coaster housing market, make sure to hit subscribe button and don't forget to check the link in the description and grab access to my ultimate resource hub for first-time buyers. It's loaded with checklists, video tutorials, and a home search tool curated just for locals. All right, section 1, big picture, what the data shows. So here's the headlines. Investors sold nearly 11% of all homes in the US in 2024, the highest percentage since this kind of tracking began in 2001. That's over 500,000 homes offloaded in a single year. Now, before you picture hedge funds dumping giant portfolios overnight, let me clarify, this is everyone. From big-time corporate landlords to your Uncle Bob with his 3 rental properties. All of them selling more than usual. And here's the kicker. They're not selling houses because prices are skyrocketing. That ship has sailed. They're selling because rents are softening and the math no longer maths. They're not getting the return they expected when they bought at the height of the market. Section 2, why they're selling, a shift in strategy. During the pandemic, real estate investing was like the Wild West. Low rates, soaring rents, bidding wars left and right. People were buying sight unseen and rent prices followed that gold rush. But now, reality check. Rents are dipping in a lot of cities. Inflation has cooled slightly, but rates are still high enough to crush cash flow. So imagine you're a landlord with 3 properties and suddenly your tenants are negotiating lower rent, repair costs are up front, and your property taxes just jumped. You look at the books and go, you know what? Time to sell before it gets worse. That's what's happening here. Investors are cutting losses, not cashing out. Section 3. Where is this happening most? Now let's talk about geography. According to the report, the top 5 states where investors sold the most homes in 2024 were Missouri, Oklahoma, Georgia, Kansas, and Utah. All of them saw 14 to 16% of their total sales come from investors. That's not just a blip, that's a strategy pivot across the board. And here's the fun twist. These states are also some of the top spots for investor buying activity, which tells us that these markets are popular for investors, but also tricky to hold on to long term if the numbers don't work. It's like a game of musical chairs, and some folks are choosing to sit down while they still can. Section 4, how this ties back to Boise. So what about Boise? We're not on that top 5 list, but we're definitely not out of the picture. During 2021 and 2022, investors absolutely targeted Boise because of our explosive growth, affordability compared to West Coast markets, and strong rental demand. But with rent growth slowing here too, and home values stabilizing, some of those investors are quietly exiting, especially ones who bought at the peak and are now seeing returns dip below expectations. That could mean more inventory on the market and potentially some price softening at the lower end, where investors tend to buy and sell. In other words, this could be great news if you're a local buyer who's been feeling priced out. So section 5, what this means for you, buyer edition. If you're a first-time buyer or someone to look to get into an entry-level home, here's what to look for. Homes that were previously rentals. These might be sitting vacant and priced to move. Sellers willing to negotiate. Investors aren't emotionally attached. They're more likely to drop the price or offer concessions to move on. Fixer-uppers with good bones. Some investors are ditching projects mid-flip or selling them half-finished because the numbers no longer work out. What this means for sellers or small investors. Now that you're watching this and you're thinking, wait, I own a rental. Should I be selling too? Great question. Not every investor needs to panic, but if you're sitting on a property that's cash flowing negative for longer than you'd like, you're facing high turnover or maintenance costs, or you're just looking to exit because you feel like it, then it might be worth running the numbers. A strategic sale could free up capital and open new doors in a different market or help you reposition for a long-term gain. And yep, I help people with that too. Now I'm gonna throw in one personal example. Someone reached out to me recently because they are renting their property right now and they wanted to know if selling and putting their money into an investment was a better option. market. Unfortunately for this particular client, they bought in 2021 at $40,000 over probably what they should have. So even doing my magical best that I could, they would be cutting a very, very large loss. Now, they're not making a profit on their rental, but they are breaking even. So at this point, it might be worth actually holding on to for a little bit longer. So bottom line, investors aren't leaving the market entirely, but they are being more cautious. And that shift is creating some very real opportunities in markets like ours here in Boise. Whether you're looking to finally buy your first home or make a smart exit on a property that's no longer working, this is your time to make a data-driven move, not emotional one. So in the description below, I've linked a few awesome resources. I have my ultimate resource hub for first-time buyers, totally free, and includes home search tools, buyer guides, and more. And if you want a second opinion on your buying or selling strategy, just book a call. I'll walk you through it like you're my own friend, no pressure, just clarity. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe so you never miss a Boise market update. Take care.